Hello everyone! Today we're going to have a look at 7.3 quadrilaterals. In Dutch it is called vierhoeken. We've already seen the relationship between squares and quadrilaterals, but today we're going to have a look at the parallelogram, the rhombus, the trapezium and the kite. First we're going to have a look at the parallelogram, and it's really important to make notes. So a parallelogram is a quadrilateral that has two pairs of parallel edges. So if we have a look at this one, this is a parallelogram. The properties of a parallelogram, so how you can recognize it, the opposite sides are the same length. So that means that this side and this side are equally long, and those two sides are equally long. The opposite sides are parallel. So those sides are parallel, they're going into the same direction. And those sides are parallel as well because they're going in the same direction. The diagonals intersect in their midpoints. So if I'm going to draw the diagonals, then the intersection point M is going to be the midpoint. The opposite angles are the same size. That means that this and that is the same, and this is the same as that one. And lastly, a parallelogram has point symmetry, because if we're going to look at point M, then this and that is the same. So you can point symmetry over there and over here as well. So it's point symmetry. Now we're going to have a look at the rhombus. The rhombus in Dutch is een ruit. So it's a quadrilateral where all four sides have the same length. So if we're going to have a look at the properties of a rhombus, then all four sides have the same length. That means that this and that and that sides are equally long. The diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So if I'm going to draw the diagonals, this and that, then the intersection point, as this point, is perpendicular to each other. So with an angle of 90 degrees. The opposite angles are equal in size. So it means that this and this are equal in size, and those two angles are equal in size. The diagonals divide the angles in two equal angles. So that means that this is the same as that. It's really divided into two equal pieces for the opposite side as well, because they were equal in size, I mean. And then for this one as well. And please don't forget to use different symbols. And the opposite sides are parallel. So those sides are parallel. The diagonals intersect in the middle of the rhombus. And the diagonals are the axis of symmetry of the rhombus, because if I'm going to fold it, this line, it will fit exactly, and on that diagonal as well. The trapezium. The trapezium is a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel edges. So if we're going to have a look at this trapezium, then this edge and that edge are parallel. They're going into the same direction. This is an example of a trapezium as well, because this and this edge is going in the same direction. They are parallel. We also have a special trapezium, and that one is called the isosceles trapezium. you can see that it's a trapezium because this and this edge are parallel. But more important, this edge and that one are equally long. And isosceles meant that two edges are equally long. Just as when you're going to stand on the floor, then your legs make an isosceles triangle. And this one is an isosceles trapezium because there's two equally long edges. More important, an isosceles trapezium has one axis of symmetry. It is over here exactly in the middle. If I'm going to fold it, it will perfectly fit on each other because of its isosceles. Because you can perfectly fold it of the same edges with the same length. Then the kite. It's called vlieger. So you all know a kite when you're going to the beach, but it's also a mathematical shape. It's a quadrilateral in which one diagonal is an axis of symmetry. So over here is an example of a kite. This is one of its diagonals. But if I'm going to fold it, then it will not fit perfectly on each other. So it's not an axis of symmetry. If I'm going to look at this diagonal, and I'm going to fold it in that direction, then it will fit perfectly. So that's the one, and I'm going to color it red for you. That's the one which is the axis of symmetry. Alright, so now you've learned a lot of new properties of different 2D shapes which are all quadrilaterals. So really have a look at the exercises and try to learn the properties by heart. Good luck!